We should 100% talk about communication. And
oh my God.
It was so bad in the beginning. Ellis was like, I can't. Remember, you were like, listen, we can't share an office together.
Oh, yeah. One of the first things we did when we got a new office space was to get our own offices on opposite ends of the office space.
Yeah, we
to keep the peace.
Yeah.
You know
our communication styles are different. Our leadership style is different. Our love language is different. And the one commonality we had was our love for each other. Outside of that, we were different.
And making money. You don't like being broke. We definitely got that in common. We do not want to be broke. That ain't fun.
But I am more, you're money driven, I'm purpose driven.
Yeah,
so even in that, we used to clash.
Now, I used to offend Jasmine. I'm not going to lie. I used to do this. I apologize. I don't know if I've ever apologized.
Thank you.
But I apologize. I used to come home and tell her stories about what happened at work. And it's like, I can't believe that they pay you all of this money to do this, and they just waste money. Meanwhile, I'm in a school and they ain't got toilet paper. I said, well, Jasmine, you went to school to help people. I went to school to make money, so I don't know what to tell you. That was offensive.
No empathy. But you know what I loved about that? God was preparing us for this, because the reality is when we started a business, a lot of the skills I developed that you didn't hold monetary value for, communication skills, being resourceful, initiative, leadership skills, I developed them when I wasn't making a lot of money. Mm-hmm. And then when we got into business, you all of a sudden, be honest, found newfound value in those skills.
Much more, I mean, it was something like, to the point where I said, yo, were you born like this? And he was like, no, I learned all of this at work. And so I came up in a very different environment where my voice and my opinion was not warranted. I remember literally being in a meeting with the chief engineer one day, and it was our weekly meeting. We were going through whatever, and I said, Chief, this is XYZ, what's going on? I think we should do XYZ. He just politely looked at me and said, Ellis, if I want your opinion, I'll ask you for it.
Whew. Lord Jesus, the thought of that would make me immediately have a headache and just want to vomit. Because I was in a very different environment. It was like, no, we pay you to lead. Mm-hmm. Don't just come to the meeting with problems. What is the solution?
Yeah, they paid me to obey. That's what it was. They paid me to sit at a job and do that job, and that was it. And that was one of the reasons why my manager wasn't liked, because my manager would speak up. He was boisterous about it, but he was so good at what he did, like they had to listen to him, but they didn't like it, my journey from that point on, I just stopped talking. So my leadership capabilities and skills was paused.
Yeah, your communication skills, you just wouldn't talk. We would be in meetings and I'm like, all right, babe, we gotta, figure out a solution, find a system, look at a software, and you would just be like, all right, cool. And it created a lot of friction, a lot of tension in our marriage, in our business in the beginning. Yeah,
because I came up where it was, they already had the solution. This is what you do, right? You just manage it. And you came up in an environment was like, they depended on you.
And I think every argument that we had, what I was trying to say that I didn't do a great job of saying was, I need a partner. You know what I mean? Like I was trying to say, like, we got this. I got you. I know that you got me. Like, I need a partner in business. I don't want to be your boss. I'm your wife. My job is to help you accomplish the goals for our family and help you build the legacy. But if I start to feel like I'm just giving out orders, then I start to feel like a boss. You start to feel like an employee, and no man wants to feel like that, because that's when you feel like you're being emasculated. It's friction. You'll become a mute. So ultimately, we had to break literally like break down all of these marital constructs we had, and we had to rebuild a union that looked authentic for you and I.
As well as understanding partnership in business, because it's different. There's
levels to it.
Because most people, you know, they can live with a person for 30 years and not know them. But when you get into business, you learn a person. You learn how they, you know, what their habits are, how lazy they are, you know, what they're good at, what they're not good at.
Their timeliness,
their untimeliness, who's more attention to detail oriented, who's not. I could be very passive in the sense of like, if I don't feel it's important, then I don't want to talk about it. Let's move on from it. And it's like 5 months later, it's like, well, if you would have listened to me 5 months before, we wouldn't be in this position, because it actually did matter.
Oh my God.
You know, because I'm results driven. Let's get the numbers. You know, we got to hit this metric. And it's like, no, Ellis, this over here actually matters. A benefit for men is that we are tunnel focused. So we get things done, accomplished. And women are, you know, they're more broad, and they'll look left, they'll look right before movement. But it's such a great union when you can really understand that, put it together so we can move.
Yeah.
Right? Because sometimes it's like, okay, Jasmine, I do understand that's important, but we got to do this. Mm-hmm. Like, we got to move on this right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think we just have a much deeper appreciation for our differences. It's the areas that I'm weak in, you're strong. We're just really good complements. And in the beginning, we didn't see that because we were so focused on the conflict and trying to figure out communication that we didn't realize, like, man, we actually complement each other really well. It was rough though, like it was rough in the beginning. I probably wanted to assault you a few times.
Oh, absolutely. Feeling is mutual.
You can't do that.
I mean, it never happened, but it doesn't mean I didn't think it. Y'all ever seen Throw Mama from the Train?
You wanted to throw me from a train?
There's a whole movie about it.
Well, it's a good thing we in life insurance.
Right.
Because I would have had a hefty death benefit from you.
That's true. Me too.
Couple of million.
I know what you got. You know, sometimes you wonder, you worth more to me alive or not?
I'm actually worth more alive.
You are.
Alive is like a uncashed check, like a blank check in your pocket.
It is. So like one of the things we get asked about all the time is from across the nation is, how do you hire staff? You know, they say, well, we want that person that you have. I'm like, nah, that doesn't work like that, because every person is wired differently. So so there's something called STAR, right? Structure, technical, action, relation. We all have these characteristics. I'm an action, technical, relation, structure person. Structure is last. What do you think is first with Jasmine? Structure. Number 1 on the list is structure.
Number 4 on his list is structure.
Structure is the last thing, right? So Jasmine is a structure, action, relation, technical.
So I'm a SART.
Right? She's a SART. And so so we need someone to help us. So that person can't be an R, right? Relationship driven, because we still got to move. Business still has to move. So we need a person who is more structure and action oriented too as well, right? But the person, like one of the persons we did have, she was technical, action, structure, relation.
So essentially, we wanted a staff, we wanted a support team that would complement the areas where we weren't dominant in. But we definitely wanted somebody. I think what we learned, because we went through some probably in the beginning, like not so great staff, trying to figure out how to lead. But what we, I think, did was we found people who were great balances for both you and I.
Right.
Does that make, like we needed people who understood the dynamic of business partnership, husband and wife. Ellis is a dominant action person. Jasmine is super structured. And so we needed somebody to really kind of bridge that gap for us. But
that individual, or those individuals, because we have multiple staff, like they really help our marriage in play, because I don't have to hold my wife accountable, right? And my wife doesn't have to hold me accountable. We have staff that we hold accountable, right? And that staff sometimes feel the wrath. Sorry, guys, but it is a business at the end of the day. We love our staff, but at the end of the day, it's a business. We are a business that's still in the startup phase, in the sense of like, we're not, running a $50 million business yet. So there's still a startup in that aspect. And so we're still learning everything too as well. But staff has been incredible in saving our marriage. So if you're out there starting a business, guys, and just getting going, make sure that you hire some staff to help. You need that buffer. You do need that buffer in between, especially in the beginning.
Yeah. Your spouse will never want to take instruction from you.
Orders.
Because no matter how sexy you are, ladies, you will always be seen as a dictator in their eyes. It doesn't matter how you say it, when you say it, where you say it. Your recommendation could be just as soft as a dove, just as gentle. But it's never that way though. But it's never soft and gentle as a dove. Now that's not true, babe. I have given you feedback several times.
Not the first 2-3 years.
That's the past. We talking about today.
Okay, today, I don't know if it's soft and gentle as a dove.
Maybe not as a dove. What's another pet that's soft and gentle, but bite you? What's something that's soft and gentle, but bite you?
Snapping turtle.
A snapping turtle?
Mm-hmm.
I need to look up, what does a snapping turtle look like? Because if it's offensive.
I mean, what does it sound like? A turtle that snap, bap.
Is that what they do?
They snap.
But
bite your head off.
No, but seriously, I think that, and I've learned to like woosah, to count to 5 and ask myself, Jasmine, is that really that important? Is that just you wanting to be obsessed about being perfect? Or can you in this moment recognize Ellis's progress? And that has helped us out a lot.
The other thing that helped us too, and some people have heard it before, but is this conversation, the next 5 minutes, going to matter in the next 5 years? That has helped out a lot as well. So if this conversation or argument or disagreement is not going to matter, then let it go.
Yeah, because you probably get on my nerves every day, at least for 5 minutes.
Absolutely. The feeling is mutual. So I think there's not one day that goes by
where you don't get on my nerves.
I look and I say, okay, well, that's her. Just go on.
You just go on with your day.
Go on living.
Some days, what my prayer is like, well, Lord, you saw fit to bring him into my life. Make it clear, Lord God. I need to understand why in this very moment. Because he ain't finna make it. And then we come back, we hug each other. Something that we do, though, every night is before we go to bed, we tell each other that we love each other.
Yeah, I love you.
Love you, too.
Love you, old girl.
You want to give me a kiss?
Maybe later.
I'm going to say no.
These directives and orders are coming into my mind right now.
So, yeah, that's what has helped us.